Hey guys, we're doing well today. So in today's video, we talk about the Hurricanes versus the Highlanders for round 10 of Super Rugby Aotearoa. So this should be a very interesting game, obviously, with both sides wanting to get a win here. You know, obviously the Highlanders and Hurricanes are at the bottom of the table, so both teams will definitely be wanting to get a win. Obviously, it is the last round for both of these teams, as both of them haven't made it to the final round next week. But more or less, yeah, both teams will definitely want to get a win. I mean, the game's been played within Wellington, so yeah, Hurricanes will have home advantage in that sense, but to be fair to them, they actually haven't won a game at home still within the competition. Their only win away is actually against the Highlanders away, so you know it's kind of spices up in that sense where maybe the Hurricanes can only get their 2 wins actually from the Highlander games. We'll have to wait and see. But obviously the Highlanders are coming back from a bye, so they will be a bit rested in that sense compared to the Hurricanes, who did lose last week against the Chiefs in devastating fashion, in the sense where they lost the game within the last seconds of the match really. So more or less, I think both teams will definitely want to get a win. Anyway, I'll give you the lineups right now. So obviously here is the lineups obviously for both sides. I'll run them by with you guys, tell you what I think about them, and yeah, I'll give my prediction right afterwards. So obviously with both of these teams, you do have the likes of Xavier Numia as well as Tyrell Lomax for the Hurricanes. Pretty good props, I'd say. Both have had probably a good season in my opinion. You can't really pick out a lot of good players, I'd say, for the Hurricanes this season, obviously because a lot of them, the Hurricanes really just haven't performed as well compared to last season. But these two props, in my opinion, have done pretty well. And yeah, Numia and obviously Lomax will be facing the likes of Ethan de Groot, and then you also have the likes of Takalahi, I believe, as the two Highlander props. So it should be pretty interesting to see who actually comes out. Who actually wins that battle, but I'm going to actually edge it towards the Hurricanes actually to win that battle. So yeah, also the Hurricanes will win that propping battle. But when you do look at the hookers, obviously this is probably one of the main battles you can say within the game, with Dan Coles obviously for the Hurricanes, who is the captain of course, and then you have the likes of Ash Dixon, who is the co-captain, one of the co-captains for the Highlanders. Normally, I would have gone with Ash Dixon last season, just put on the basis where he had probably one of his best seasons, I'd say, within the Highlanders jersey. But I'd say, I think just Dan Coles is more. He's kind of picked up form, you could say, recently. He's kind of started, he got back into the team recently, and for that reason, I'd give it to Dan Coles. I just think he's a better not scrub half, a better hooker at this point in time. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to him. Then moving on to the locks. The locks is a very interesting one, obviously, with the Hurricanes, who do have the likes of James Blackwell as well as Scrapton, so they haven't actually changed that from last week. But then for the Highlanders, obviously, you do have the likes of Brent Evans as well as Dixon. So I would purely they're actually very similar in the sense where they have one experienced lock, you can say, and then one up and coming. But I would actually give it to. I'm gonna actually give it to the Highlanders. I just think that the Highlanders locks have done better this season, and particularly Brent Evans. He's really stood out his own, and he's an old block. I think he's around 38 years old now, but more or less his Super Rugby experience has really come into intuition for the Highlanders within this season. And yeah, for that reason, I'm going to edge towards the Highlanders from that section. So anyway, moving on to the loose forwards, with the Hurricanes, you do have the likes of what is it? You have Reed Princept as well as Debussy Karufi and then Devin Flanders. So it's a pretty good lineup, I'd say, there within that trio for loose forwards. There'll be, that battle, definitely against the Highlanders, who obviously have the likes of, I believe, Shannon Vizell, Billy Harmon, as well as Kazuki Himeno. It's a pretty good trio. I personally like that trio more than the Hurricanes trio, on purely the basis where the Hurricanes just don't have Aotearoa, which is unfortunate. But I think it'll be a good battle to see who actually wins that battle within the breakdown, because obviously that'll be very crucial to see, whoever wins those battles actually, in my opinion, actually will win the game. Like I said, I'll probably edge it towards the Highlanders because the Hurricanes just don't have Aotearoa. So moving on to the backs. So the backs is a very interesting one, obviously, with both sides. You do have the likes of Aaron Smith and Mitch Hunt for the Highlanders, but for the home side, obviously, you do have the likes of, I believe, Luke Campbell this week? I might be wrong with that, but I think it's Luke Campbell and Ruben Love. Yes, Luke Campbell and Ruben Love, obviously. Ruben Love, I'll admit, has actually stepped up his game, I'd say, within the last week's game. He, in my opinion, he actually played very well. A lot of you can, might disagree with me, but more or less, I think that combination's actually starting to get a bit of, picking up a bit of form. So yeah, I think that it's good. I'm happy that they're sticking with that same combo, because obviously the more experience those two players get together, and the more chemistry they build up, and that's solid. But obviously because I think it's pretty obvious who I'm selecting. I'm gonna go with the Highlanders just because Aaron Smith, a lot of Super Rugby experience, and Mitch Hunt, I just think is a better quality fly half than Ruben Love at this point in time. Anyway, you go to the centre. So the centre is a very interesting one. Obviously, with the Hurricanes, you do have the likes of Lev Mape, and then you actually have Billy Proctor, who's come back in for the likes of Peter Munga Jensen. But for the Highlanders, you do have the likes of Scott Gregory and then Tomkinson. And that combination, to be fair, it has actually worked pretty well. And I'll give credit to Scott Guerrero. He has actually transitioned well within that centre spot. Because normally last season he was playing more of like a 11/14/15, so he's more of those positions. But he's transitioned well within that spot. But I'm gonna have to edge towards the Hurricanes within their centres. I mean, Liam Mbappe has just been brilliant, probably one of the standout players for the Hurricanes, which is kind of expected in that sense of how good he is. But yeah, he would. In my opinion, he definitely earns an All Black place, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens. But yeah, I think Billy Proctor as well kind of suits him better. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, moving on to the wingers. The wingers is a very interesting one, obviously, with the likes of Rayasi as well as Julian Sevilla for both wingers for the Hurricanes from the 11 and 14 jersey. I mean, Julian Sevilla it'd be great to see him play again. But the interesting one actually is for the Highlanders, I believe, because they have the likes of Nureki, who has actually been very solid, I'd say, throughout this whole competition. Definitely stepped up his game, you can say. Definitely, his game has definitely improved over the likes of this competition. But you do have the likes of what's his name? You do have the likes of Sam Gilbert, who's actually coming back to the side, which is good to see. He's made some appearances, you could say, for the Highlanders recently. I'm not sure if he made an appearance this competition so far, but overall he's done pretty well. So happy to see him get a start within this week's game. But the big one actually was within the you could say the key battle within this game was obviously going to be between the fullbacks within that 15 spot, with Jordy Barrett obviously being the fullback for the Hurricanes, and then you have the likes of Nene Milder-Skunner actually returning for the Highlanders, which is a huge news for them. Obviously, Josh Ioane was actually at first meant to be within that position, but because he picked up an injury, I believe, towards his leg, Nene Milder-Skunner has actually come back in, and yeah, it's a huge surprise towards everyone, because even to me, because I thought he would be injured for a longer period of time, but it's good to see that he's kind of recovered now. He's able to, he's kind of been cleared to play, so that's great to see. And obviously, he's just one of those players who I think everyone loves. He was everyone loved his performances during the 2015 World Cup. So yeah, hopefully we can see a bit more of that, or maybe just a bit of sparks of somewhat. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of the sides. If I had to give my prediction towards who I actually think will win the game, I'm gonna edge it towards the Hurricanes, because I think they have that edge. Obviously playing at home, but I think they'll definitely want to end on a high after last week's performance. But yeah, I'll edge it. I'll say I'll be close, but I'll say they'll win the game by at least 7 points. I'll say 7 points they'll win it by, and I'll say they'll win this game 27 points to 20. Yeah. No, actually no. I'll go lower. Should I go lower? No. I'll say 27 points to 20. Yeah, 27 points to 20 is my final prediction for the game. Anyway, just hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.